Recently released video evidence presents compelling material. Some analysts suggest a remotely activated device may have been involved. Observe carefully. One individual retrieves a device from Charlie, placing it into his pocket. Pay close attention. The first person takes the device and passes it to someone wearing a polo shirt who pockets it. Subsequently, another individual, previously suspected of activating a remote trigger, transfers the remote to his associate's pocket before departing. The initial person collects the device from the location. Notice the sequence. The incident occurs, the individual in blue secures the item in his pocket, followed by the person with the remote doing likewise.
When we cease our inquiries, those responsible prevail. Accepting modified narratives makes us complicit in concealment. Failing to demand complete footage means endorsing falsified accounts. Consider this carefully. What occurs when truth isn't simply absent but deliberately concealed? What if Tyler Robinson witnessed more than publicly acknowledged, and Charlie Kirk paid the price for that silence? My purpose isn't storytelling, it's exposing what's been hidden. Please share your thoughts in the comments during this broadcast. We welcome all feedback and contributions to this report. Our commitment is to justice. We advocate for Charlie because prior to the violence, prior to media coverage, prior to presumed explanations, there were private moments when someone could have intervened, warned him, or prevented subsequent events. But they didn't. If Tyler Robinson possesses undisclosed information, we're confronting more than tragedy, we're facing deliberate omission, fear, and a narrative controlled by those who remain silent and those ensuring public distraction. Upon conclusion, you won't question what happened to Charlie Kirk. You'll question who determined you didn't deserve truth and why Tyler Robinson's name persistently appears in peripheral discussions like an avoided shadow. Before proceeding, consider. If silence proves lethal, then whoever maintained it shares responsibility. What's your assessment? Is the investigation advancing methodically or experiencing procedural obstruction? Share your perspective in the comments. That's where we gather your insights and learn your location. For continuous updates, subscribe and activate notifications to remain informed as developments emerge. And collectively we pursue justice. Charlie Kirk transcended headlines. He became the focal point, the objective, the symbol upon which people projected fears and agendas. Once his name connected to this narrative, the significance became tangible, blood and bone real. His public profile made threats concrete. His death, or attempted elimination, exceeded mere incident status, becoming evidence someone wanted silencing. Someone wanted elimination. Such framing doesn't encourage curiosity, it generates outrage, paranoia, and partisan loyalty. However, tension requires more than victims. That's Tyler Robinson's entry point, not hero, not villain, but something more precarious. The unknown variable. Neither accused nor exonerated, simply present, proximate enough to matter, silent enough to raise questions. The type of figure who might have observed, documented, or learned something before others recognized the approaching danger. No formal accusation necessary, just positioning on the wrong side of coincidence. Shadow presence, potential witness, convenient observer, perhaps the final person hearing Charlie's words, perhaps the first understanding why someone wanted him silenced. You believe that's coincidental? You think his name enters this narrative accidentally? Ever notice how crucial footage consistently proves unfindable? People discuss what was observed, heard, or anticipated, but insufficient attention addresses what never reached the public. That's where suspicion intensifies. Before Charlie Kirk approached that stage, before any microphone equipment touched his clothing, someone tested that gear, attached it, documented that preparation. Standard procedure. You don't equip someone of his prominence without documentation. Initial recordings always exist. Where are they? Did someone record his final conversation before his appearance? Did cameras capture equipment adjustment? Was support staff present? Were backup feeds operating? Were technical crews monitoring audio systems? People now claim angles we never saw, edited segments, frames absent from any publicly released footage, not even in subsequently leaked material. This raises questions authorities seem reluctant to answer. Who handled equipment before placement? Was it inspected, exchanged, tampered with, transferred between unseen hands? Who reviewed recordings afterward? Why were certain angles immediately broadcast while others disappeared as if never existing? Who authorized edits? Make no mistake, something was removed. Footage doesn't vanish. It gets deleted, concealed, restricted, or archived under inaccessible classifications. People act as if the only investigation-worthy story is what occurred on stage. Wrong. If sabotage occurred, if any device was planted, truth resides in pre-spotlight moments. The microphone check, hallway surveillance, technician booth, the unbroadcast seconds. If that footage exists, somebody made deliberate decisions not to reveal it. You don't conceal irrelevant information. You conceal what reveals too much. Until those missing recordings surface, we lack clean narrative. We have a crime scene with timelines edited to fit alternative versions of events. Ever notice how certain names avoid headlines but continuously circle peripherally, as if perpetually present? Tyler Robinson, not the camera-facing figure, but the name slipping through conversations like smoke. Neither accused nor cleared. Simply present, the worst position when stories don't align. Let me present this investigatively. Tyler wasn't random. He wasn't peripheral to Charlie Kirk's circle. He had proximity, access, possibly responsibility. That's precisely why people whisper rather than shout his name. Now ask, was he nearby during microphone testing? Was he behind cameras, monitoring feeds, or positioned to overhear inappropriate information? Was he the final non-technical person seeing Charlie before his spotlight moment? Or, and this is where silence becomes deafening, was he holding footage that never emerged? Because rumors don't materialize spontaneously. People claim Tyler possessed a recording angle nobody else had, positioned during final preparations, his view capturing moments the public never witnessed. Then conveniently, whatever he recorded appears nowhere. Not official archives, not leaks, not even conspiracy compilations scraping internet depths. What happened? Was it taken? Did he surrender it? Did he maintain silence? Or was he silenced? You don't need suspect labels to create question marks. You simply connect someone to something that should exist but doesn't. Tyler might be innocent, terrified, knowing something he wishes he didn't. But truth remains simple. If Charlie's pre-microphone moments were captured by anyone, he's most likely to have seen it. Until we know what he possessed or who instructed him to conceal it, his silence isn't neutral, it's suspicious. You don't need confessions proving involvement, just access and missing story pieces. And Tyler Robinson represents the piece they hope you stop questioning. Let me clarify, silence doesn't establish innocence, it establishes utility. Every time the public shrugs saying, maybe there's nothing more, someone behind scenes breathes easier. Every unasked question favors whoever holds missing footage. Every time you accept edited versions, you help bury unedited ones. They depend on fatigue, distraction, assumptions that others will investigate deeper. That's how stories get rewritten, through your permission, not their power. Apply this to Charlie Kirk. If something was planted, if sabotage was genuine, if Tyler Robinson or others suppressed confirming footage, then every unanswered second helps seal the truth. You're not merely observing the cover-up, you're participating by default. Here's what nobody wants admitting. If someone was forced into silence, if evidence was suppressed, if narrative was shaped before questioning began, then the public isn't bystanders, they're perfect accomplices. Quiet, distracted, convinced they know sufficient. You think withholding information constitutes the crime? No, the actual crime is how easily you're made to look away. Until you force missing pieces into light, you're not outside the story, you're part of machinery keeping truth buried. Want to understand how conspiracy establishes itself? It doesn't begin with wild claims, it begins with missing answers. Give the public blank spaces and they'll fill them independently. In this case, that blank space is sufficient to bury bodies, motives, and hard drives. Once the remote device theory emerged, confirmation became irrelevant because conditions allowing that theory already existed. Missing footage, unnamed handlers, unanswered questions, assumption-based timelines. Adding shadow names like Tyler Robinson, someone with possible proximity, maybe access to unseen recordings, suddenly speculation doesn't feel fictional. It feels like the only unverified explanation. Then narrative snowballs. What if the explosion, malfunction, or interference wasn't accidental? What if the microphone equipment was tampered with off-camera? What if proving footage was erased before external viewing? Here's the danger. Once people believe evidence is hidden, every denial confirms suspicion. Every official statement appears rehearsed. Every missing clip becomes intent proof. That's how rumors transcend rumor status. They become silence replacements. Until someone produces uncut feeds, raw audio, or missing angles, speculation grows unchecked. And why wouldn't it? Truth only hides this intensely when someone benefits from darkness. As they say, if there's nothing concealing, you don't board up windows. You don't get this setup, disappearing footage, strategic silence, whisper campaigns without motive. Someone always gains when truth goes missing. The challenge is identifying beneficiaries. If Charlie Kirk's story remains fractured, start with power. Charlie wasn't background noise, he was amplified, polarizing, protected. If his fall wasn't accidental, if it was engineered, then string pullers knew exactly what his removal would accomplish. Create vacancies, generate chaos, tighten narrative control. Enter Tyler Robinson. Not attacker, not hero, but connection. The person who might not act but might know. If he held footage, heard conversations, witnessed equipment exchanges, then he's not bystander. He's liability or asset, depending on obedience levels. Here's what most miss. Suppressed footage doesn't only bury the past, it protects futures. Someone's future. Consider who handles media clearance, who archives recordings, who decides what's too sensitive for public consumption. Those people don't work independently, they take direction, and direction means intent. Ask yourself, was Charlie already threatening wrong interests? Was someone threatened by his plans, statements, or exposures? Was eliminating him, or altering his downfall circumstances, more useful than confrontation? What about Tyler? Is he the silent witness being kept close? The reluctant accomplice knowing too much? The disposable name they'll blame if truth leaks? You don't need grand conspiracies hiding crimes, just few people with access and closure motivation. The power dynamic is simple. One man is gone, one man is quiet, and someone else writes the replacement script. Until missing evidence resurfaces, every quiet character becomes part of the power play, whether they chose it or not. So here we stand, middle of a story held together by edits, rumors, and silence. Those knowing most are either gone or silent. You think that's coincidence? If Charlie Kirk's death, disappearance, sabotage, whatever version they're selling, connected to that microphone equipment, then pre-moment footage represents the case's most valuable evidence. Its absence isn't mystery, it's message. Somebody ensured you'd never see it. Then there's Tyler Robinson, the name hovering outside official timelines, proximate enough to matter, quiet enough to disappear. If he saw something, filmed something, heard something, and remained silent, then he's not outside this story, he's woven into it. Here's what nobody wants acknowledging aloud. If we stop questioning, they win. If we accept edited versions, we become cover-up participants. If we don't demand missing footage, we're endorsing the rewrite. I'll leave you with this. What's more dangerous? What happened to Charlie Kirk, or what someone desperately tries hiding about it? Until suppressed files emerge, everyone remains under suspicion, especially those pretending they have nothing explaining. And if Tyler Robinson still possesses something unreleased, then truth isn't lost, it's being kept.